Good. Excellent. Fantastic.
Good to go?
Yeah.
Good. All good.
All right. We're going to try it. We're recording now. So today is podcast number 50. 50 times I've sat here and done this. And today I've got 2 guests, 3 mics, 2 laptops, some board, my phone, and we're watching Wimbledon Sunday morning. Alcaraz and Djokovic are in a tiebreaker. So my guest today for the 17th time is my dad, Bill. Dad, say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
And next to him is nephew Tristan, back for his 2nd time.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool. Are you excited
Very
that
excited.
you're on number 50?
Huh?
You're on number 50, dude. This is big.
Yeah. Is there no intro music today?
Yours is on there. I already recorded it.
Oh. Cool.
Sorry, I didn't know you required your own intro music.
No, I'm good. I don't need it.
We can do that.
I don't want it.
You wrote the
I
intro
don't
music.
want it. I'll write something new.
So if you're not watching Wimbledon right now, you are dead to me, by the way. So you all just heard my first podcast ever. I played that first. It was Timmy Double Faults Too Much. It was the first one. I did it from my car, October 22nd, 2001. And it is still the most listened to podcast I've ever done. Isn't that crazy? It's terrible.
Weird.
You can hear cars in the background and like people honking at me, and it's still the best one.
It's authentic. It's real.
It very much is. And I look back, and my first about 8 or 9 were all about 10 minutes. And now through 50, I've got over an hour on multiple ones with guests. So it's also turned into far more topics than just tennis. My first few were all instructional, like very serious coaching. And now I talk about Crocs a lot. T, are you wearing Crocs right now?
Mm-mm.
I am.
That's cool. Is it because you're inside and away from the public?
Yes, you listen.
Yep.
I'm not in public, so I can wear them. All right, important things to discuss right away. What do you guys call the things that when you're sitting outside at night by the fire, Dad, your fire pit or grill,
Yeah.
the things that fly through the sky and light
Lightning
up?
bugs.
Lightning bugs.
Lightning bugs?
Yeah.
What do you call them, T?
Lightning bugs. No, fireflies.
That's my question on here.
Oh, man.
I call them lightning bugs as a kid.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin, fireflies.
Yeah.
And I've just been curious of what people call them. I always call them lightning bugs.
6 of one, half dozen of the other.
I think lightning bugs is such a more powerful.
It's harder to say.
What do you think they want to be called? Like if you're one of them, you're flying around.
You should ask, but
Wouldn't you be like, I'm a lightning bug? But it's
like
Yeah.
a firefly, dude.
Yeah.
firefly, I'm a little firefly.
No, firefly is more like gangster. Like lightning bugs more
I feel like
structural.
I feel like lightning shooting out of the sky, destroying stuff.
Yeah. I vote for lightning bugs.
So we're gonna do a podcast vote for who the 6 people that will listen to this: lightning bugs or fireflies. As usual, I'm gonna get rid of my random stuff first. I saw Indiana Jones last week. Have you guys seen it?
No.
So my movie review of the week is: if you like the first series, the first 3 or 4 movies, you'll like this one. It's way too long. It's almost 3 hours. Went way too long, but Indiana Jones keeps getting in trouble and then saves himself somehow, and he's still scared of snakes.
I've never seen any Indiana Jones.
None of them.
None of them.
That bothers me.
I've only seen one.
That bothers me too. T,
Yeah.
you need to check them out. They're great adventure
I know.
movies.
I've been meaning to. I don't want to see I don't feel like seeing the new one unless I've seen previous.
The new one's better if you've seen the other ones,
Yeah.
just because they reference a lot of the old stuff, kind of like Top Gun was.
So
But I'd go see it if you like Indiana Jones. It's worth seeing. Deal.
I'll catch it on Netflix maybe. Hey, did you buy
Cool.
Did you buy the big popcorn?
Big popcorn,
Oh.
large popcorn, large Coke, and a
Oh.
bag of Reese's Pieces.
Did you
I went all out.
did you cover it with butter?
Yeah.
Salt?
Double later.
Oh
Like,
Lord, yeah. That's awesome.
nice.
That's the best thing about the movie.
Also, the movie tickets cost me $17. It's ridiculous.
God almighty. Hey, I want to know that. Why is there a cat toenail laying right in front of me? There's a cat toenail right there.
I don't know,
Jeez.
Dad. It's your house.
The claw.
Okay.
He's not kidding. There's actually a cat claw.
Yeah.
I don't know if cats have toenails. Do cats have toenails?
Cat toenail, yeah.
Oh God.
Hey, did your movie theater have the reclining chair?
Yeah,
Oh,
we were
yeah.
decked out. It cost me like $100 for two of us, but it was.
Yeah.
It was a
Who
good
did
movie.
you go with?
Molly.
Oh.
Did you buy the big drink?
Yeah, large.
Oh
And I
man.
got to keep the cup. This is what you care about from the movie review. What
yeah,
size?
The popcorn.
Food.
Popcorn is the most
I've heard
awesome thing.
Sure is. All right, moving on. My last podcast, and I posted it on my Instagram and all that stuff, is asking people who their top 4 all-time tennis players were. He's laughing because he doesn't even know what Wimbledon was.
No idea.
Mine were Agassi, McEnroe, Federer, and Connors. I got a whole lot of those. I got a lot of McEnroe, a lot of Connors, tons of Agassi, and then I got Navratilova, Sabatini, which I thought was odd because she never really was
Yeah.
like number one forever. Steffi Graf was a big one.
Yeah.
I didn't get any. I got one Pete Sampras, which is weird because he's probably top 5 best player ever, but nobody likes him because he's not around anymore. And I was surprised I only got one Bjorn Borg.
Wow.
I
And
thought he would be a legend.
no Chris Evert?
Couple of Chris Evert.
Okay.
But if I had a top 6, I'd add Navratilova to it, and then Edward Becker.
She's awesome.
But T, who's your top favorite tennis player? I know you don't follow tennis much, but you played. Is there anybody that you remember watching?
There's this one dude. I don't know his name, but I watched him play one time. My dad knows him. He says he's
help us.
some popular guy. He says he's popular for jumping high. He's black.
Oh, Monfils.
Monfils.
The French guy.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
Yeah. He's an athlete. He is popular for jumping.
Yeah, I liked watching him jump.
Yeah.
That's all.
I got last 2 things, and then we're going to get into some tennis stuff that you guys can comment on. My
Great.
book reviews for the week. It's written by Frank Bello. He is the bassist for the band Anthrax. You ever heard of them, T?
Heard of him.
80s, 90s heavy metal. They're still going. Awesome book about his life. You don't have to be a fan of that music or that band, but if you're a fan of music in that time, check it out. Really great story. And then TV, you got to watch The Bear. This is the best show on. Have you seen it yet?
Kenzie was talking about that last night. She loves it.
I'd put it right now and put it in the realm of my favorites.
And that's on Netflix?
Yeah.
Hulu.
All right.
Breaking Bad. I'd put it up there with it. Sons of Anarchy was one of my favorites.
What's
Lost,
the seasonage?
just 2.
How many episodes per?
8.
How long?
Why do you need so many details?
I just don't know if I need to is this like a period of my life that I have to devote to this, or can I crank it out for the weekend?
About 30-minute episodes. Really fast moving. It's great. Watch The Bear. And then
I will just agree with you. The Bear is a great series. Your mom and I are hooked on it. We watched every episode so far. I got one more to go. Now, the only thing, this is my own thing, but it's constant use of the F word. And I realize that's the way things are these days. F this, F that. But I don't think they have to put it in every sentence, but other than that, it's great acting, very intense, good show.
That's the title of this podcast. F this, F
F
that.
this, F that. You just nailed the title.
Good title.
Yeah. And then lastly, I think I mentioned in my last one, watch the Beatles Get Back on Disney
That's
Plus.
great.
I think it's amazing.
Really
He's
good.
watched it.
Really good.
Watching Lennon and McCartney and all 4 of them figure out how to write a song and get it right is pretty impressive. And I'm not a huge Beatles fan. I think they're overrated. Yeah. I said it. But the documentary is awesome.
What network is that on?
Disney Plus. You won't have it.
Don't get it.
And even if you did, you
I
wouldn't
have
know how to
seen it
find
though.
All right. So getting to some tennis stuff last week on my social media stuff.
But-
So trying to put up some. Did you belch?
No,
Oh,
that was him.
was that you?
That was him.
T. Great.
That wasn't me.
I posted a question on my social media stuff about who should make the call of whether to switch or not in doubles. So you've got someone at the net and someone deep, and a ball goes. Somebody lobs over the net player's head. Who calls switch? Who makes the directions? And I 100% believe it's the deep player because they can see everything that's going on. They can see their partner. They can see the other two. And the net player doesn't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I always think
Yeah.
it's the deep player. And the majority of people agreed, but I had several that no, it should be the net guy, which I don't agree with because if the net guy calls it and they're wrong, there's nobody back there to cover them. So T, we're playing doubles. Ball goes over your head. I'm your partner.
Yeah.
Goes over your head. Do you want me to be the one to tell you to switch? I call it. I've got it. Switch, or are you going to do it?
Man, I don't know. When that situation happened to me, I never really we never really called it. We just kind of assumed because
It's so bad.
it's going over my head. I'm not gonna get it. They're gonna have to cover for
What
me.
if you give it a shot? You should be the first priority to get it.
I mean, I'll know if it's too high for me to get. If it's
But how does your partner know?
if I miss,
So you want them to go behind you?
Yeah.
In case you swing.
they're my
miss.
backup. Yeah.
See, here's the problem. You're assuming that your partner is thinking the same thing you are.
Well, me and my partner, you don't know how we were. We were tight. We we called it. He was my guardian angel when I was at the net. Got my back if I missed something.
See, I like that. I'm going to steal that in my
Yeah.
coaching.
That's good.
But I work with people who have different partners every day.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they don't have that long term. So I think it's got to be the deep person. I'm fine with it's both of them.
Yeah.
So if I call, got it, switch, and you steal it and say, no, I got this, cool. But when you play in silence, it doesn't work. I played with the same partner pretty much my whole life. We didn't have to say that stuff because we did know. But for club players, like what I work with, who have a different partner on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you have.
Then
just
I'd
sort of
say it's
teaching
the
you have
deep
to
guy.
use the words.
I think deep guy makes more sense. He can see
They
everything.
have a better view. They can see the entire court, all three players on the ball. The net guy's worried about trying to get it, which is stressful.
Yeah,
and they
plus
don't know what
the
they're
net
doing.
guy's got less time to make that decision too.
Boom.
Right there.
You should be a tennis coach, T. It is my, and I've had many people comment it has to do with the level too, and that's true because a higher level player is going to be able to get more overheads and maybe be faster and reach more, so you won't have to switch as much. What are you doing?
I think we need this fan though. It's a little hot around this podcast table.
Well, it is. We are recording this, so
Okay.
if you guys don't know, my dad just stood up from the table to turn the ceiling fan on.
Yeah, that's much
So-
better. Much better.
I've already decided podcast 50 is going to be the worst one I've ever done. So I am recording these now and trying to put them on YouTube. So if you want to watch my dad just stand up in the middle of it, turn the ceiling fan on in his pajamas, that's going to be a lot of views.
It feels much better now.
All right, on to the next tennis
It
one.
does feel good.
It does feel better.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
much
you.
more
Thank
comfortable
you.
than I was before. So I have a lot of players who, as soon as the ball's hit, they want to do something. They want to move. They feel like they should be aggressive or doing some action. When I think a lot of tennis is learning to be comfortable standing still, doing nothing.
I agree.
Meaning, if the ball's hit directly to you, T,
Yeah.
you don't have to do this fancy footwork and all this crazy stuff. You should say, cool, thanks for hitting it right to me, and then take a great swing. But a lot of club players, they think they got to be doing stuff. So I've been doing a lot of things on the court, teaching people to wait, to stay. We do this exercise. We got to call out where you have to move. So if I hit you a ball, you have to yell out right, left, forward, backwards, or stay. Where do you have to go to hit it?
Okay.
And everybody
Yeah.
struggles with the stay because they think it's a sport. We got to sweat and all this stuff. So I think stay. I teach people stay means thank you. You're thanking your opponent for hitting it right to me. I don't have to do any extra work, and I'm gonna kick your butt now. Like,
Honestly, like if I'm playing against some guy and I am working hard to like try to beat him, but he's just standing still, that kind of like honestly, from his point of view, that's like I don't need to work hard to beat you. I
There
don't
you
need.
go. Take some
He's
pride
controlling.
in.
If you don't move as much, you're controlling that point.
Gee, you got some coaching in you.
Thanks,
Seriously,
man.
that's really good. I'm impressed.
Thank you. I love.
I mean, you
tennis.
didn't know what tournament was going on right now in bright green grass.
I'm a big tennis guy, dude.
You thought Wimbledon was the U.S. Open and then the Australian Open, but that's super logical.
Yeah.
So when I go on vacations or anywhere for that matter, but mostly a vacation, one of the first things I look for when I get to the hotel, the resort, wherever we're at, is I look for a chair or a bench, usually a rocking chair, somewhere that's like looking over at the water or the mountain or the beach. And like my kids now, will even point out chairs to me like, Dad, that's your spot, because I want a place for peace. My morning coffee.
Yeah.
When we went to LA, which is the most unpeaceful place on earth, and I hope it explodes after my daughter leaves, she got me to Malibu, and I found a big rock sitting on the beach, and I got to just sit on the rock, watch the ocean in quiet and peace.
Did you have a cup of coffee?
Didn't have a cup of coffee.
No
that
coffee.
Day. This was a little later.
Okay.
But I'm always looking for that, so I started teaching my players to find their bench or their rock, somewhere that you can chill out. Here comes the ball, crush it, versus that attack all the time. I also talk about my cats. So how many hours a day do you guys think cats sleep?
26. 20.
26. My dad just said cats sleep 26 hours a day.
I'll go 22.
What do you think? He says 22.
That's how long they sleep?
That's how long they sleep per day. What do you think?
I think it's way less than that.
Pick a number. Let's see.
4.
4 for cats?
4? I don't know.
The actual answer is 20 hours a day cats sleep.
Wow.
So I've been teaching my players, because I like to tell dumb stories on the court, to be a better cat. Because cats will be fast asleep. They're chilling, right? But as soon as they hear the food bowl open, or like for us, it's when Molly gets up with Pumpkin, they leap out and jump and go eat or find who they want to find. Like they can go from super neutral, chill to, but my cats don't run around the house nonstop, 24 hours a day, crashing into things like chaos. They wait until something clues them in that it's time to go. And I think on a tennis court, you can be more neutral. I'm going to chill here until Tristan's shot makes me run, jump, dive, spin, all that kind of stuff, versus constantly going. Dad, imagine your house and your 2 cats all day long. They sprint back and forth all day, 24 hours a day, just end to end around the house, chasing each other.
That'd be a little rough.
It'd be pretty chaos, wouldn't it?
Chaos, yes, chaos.
A lot of my players will do that. They'll see a ball and don't recognize that, cool, it's right to me. It's going to be in my strike zone. I don't have to do anything. And then whack it. And
that's good.
They turn it into something chaotic and silly looking, when they should have just accepted this is the moment where I get to just take a good swing at it.
That's good. I never thought about it like that.
Be a better cat, people. Because I like cats. All right. And you guys can just tell me your comments. This one, it's been a couple weeks since we did a podcast.
Okay.
Don't touch anything.
Am I still hooked up?
It's cool. Yeah, you're good. You're fine. So I watched the Brewers game the other day, last week. Brewers T is baseball.
Sure.
Major League Baseball. It's awesome. A game with somebody throws a ball and then somebody else hits it with a wooden stick.
Oh, I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
The Brewers had a segment in the game where they scored a run on 0 hits, never hit the ball, and they got a run.
Wow.
They got a walk, a steal, an error, and a sacrifice fly. That's when they hit the ball to the outfield. Somebody catches it, but somebody still scores. They sacrifice themselves. So the analysts were talking about manufacturing runs where they didn't do anything. They got 0 hits. So every person that stepped up there didn't accomplish what their goal was, which is to hit the ball. But all these things happened and they were able to score. And I started thinking about, how do you do that in tennis? How can you score some points without having to be great? That was sort of my idea when I was.
I've done that.
So have you ever? You both played. Ever won a game or put together some points where you really didn't have to do anything? What situations? You got a tennis mind.
Yeah,
Where do I win a point where I don't have to do anything?
So this was when I played doubles with I think it was sophomore year maybe. The other team would be about to serve, and I'd pull my shorts up real tight, and I'd see how high I could get them, and they always got distracted by it. And honestly, it worked. Most of the time, they would miss their serve, or the dude at the net, like I'm facing, he starts dying laughing because my shorts are so high, like it is tight. And then my doubles partner would do it too, and I don't know. I think that's how I can win without actually playing tennis.
That is a way to manufacture a point. I think
That
it's
would work.
probably
That would work.
pushing the boundaries of the rules.
I mean,
Did any coach or kid, the other players, be like, "Dude, you got to stop that"? Because that's sort of
no one really got upset about it.
all right.
They would laugh it off. I mean,
for all of my listeners, next time you need a free point, try to roll your shorts up real short and see. So that wasn't on my list of things. I was thinking, obviously, double fault.
Double faults, yeah.
How do you get them to double fault? If you have over the course of the match, hit some really good stressful returns that get them a little shaky, a little anxious, a little nervous, you can steal a double fault every once in a while. Moving in on a short second serve, just take a step in and let them see you that you're about right. You can get that kind of stuff. Unforced errors, like how do you get them to miss, especially in doubles, because most of what I teach is doubles, is simply fake a poach.
Yeah.
So easy. I serve, T just leans to the right one step. Dad, you see him and you think you beat him down the line and then you hit one wide. It's a free point, right?
Yeah.
Easy. So easy to get.
Honestly, what I do, I did this a lot. It was all doubles when I did
Is
this.
it legal?
No, this is legal. I swear to God, this is legal. We just confuse them. Like, okay, let's say like typical stance right here. This is
one up, one back, or both up.
What side is this called again? I forgot.
Deuce
and add.
Yeah.
We would do formations like this, like we'd stand at the green together, or we'd do like just all sorts of things. We'd both be like on the alley line right here, and we'd get so confused. They'd be like, "You guys are doing something wrong." We're like, "No, we're not. This is our stance. This is our formation."
I like it. So T's talking about standing in different places. Now his is pretty drastic. Like he's showing both guys in the doubles alley or both weird places, right? But for our players, if you usually stand as server's partner and you stand 3 steps from the net the whole match in a big moment, stand 6 steps from the net, just scoot back, give them a different view. Because returners are dumb. They're going to see that and say, "Oh no, T's about to do something amazing. I have to do something great," and you're going to get a mistake, right? Yeah. Play double back for 1 point.
Yeah.
Haven't done it all match. Pull the server back, and now they have a whole different view of the court, which makes people do dumb things.
But honestly, like when I see my opponents come together and start talking, that kind of stresses me out. It's like, oh, they're planning against me. They're plotting something.
That's a good one.
So that's what I do with mine. We talk for a while. We don't even talk about tennis when we come together.
I didn't either. But that's a good one. So if you're a team, let's say you're a team that doesn't talk much between points, and you get late in a set, maybe a tiebreaker, and all of a sudden you meet and have a longer conversation. You're right. The opposing team is going to be like, "Uh-oh, these guys have a plan," and they're going to start thinking about what you're doing versus what they're supposed to do. That's serve and volley once when you haven't served and volley the whole match. Return and come in. There's so many ways to get points without doing anything. You're just winning by the threat of showing something, even if you don't know what you're doing. Changing your serve speed. If Dad served at the entire match, his first serves come in at 120 because you can still bomb.
Oh yeah. Right? Sure.
And in a big moment, he puts one in at 72. Totally change that pace, get them to overhit. So I was just thinking how our listeners, probably not very many at the moment, can find ways to manufacture points. That's something you can do when you're not playing well, right? You're angry. you don't like your partner, whatever, it's just not working. You can find a way to win points without even swinging the tennis racket.
Yeah.
That's a great way.
Another one I do is the initial fear of your opponent. When you guys first walk out on the court, there's some matches where I'll wear my hat backwards, some where I wear my hat forwards. If I'm going to play this team and they look like, oh, big man, ooh, like scary with their hat backwards, they got their shades on, I kind of like, I put my hat forward, I kind of hike up my shorts a little bit, kind of look like I'm not serious about it, so that they're like, oh, we got these kids, and then we're like actually decent. They're like, oh crap, that's when they get stressed out. I make my opponents so mad sometimes because I'm just like, even after a bad point, like I told you this in my last podcast, I'm not that competitive.
Yeah.
Like I'm just fine with it. They expect me to be more upset about losing.
I'm going to sort of disagree with you about your competitiveness because all these things you just told me about standing in different places and pulling your shorts up,
show it,
and your hat around, that is ultra competitive. You're just not doing it in a physical, like, that way. You're doing it like mental, like Jedi mind games.
It's all a mind game for me.
To me, that's great. That's another level of competitive, dude.
Yeah.
It's just different. And it's just as good. Yeah. I think you have it. You have mental competitiveness.
Thank you.
You don't care about the physical part of it.
Yeah.
You get them with.
I just want to get in their head.
I think it's great. That's a way to win tons of points without doing anything. It's also, I think, prideful. Like, I'm so good, I don't even have to work hard to beat you.
He's just playing with
what were you
doing?
Your dad's still playing with it.
Yeah.
Claw.
Now, I want to ask T, do you feel like you're competitive on the keyboard? In other words, you're up there thinking, I'm going to nail this song. I'm going to do this great. It's going to be pretty darn impressive.
Man, I don't think I'd call it being competitive. I'm not really going against other. I mean, if it was me, if I was like a dueling pianos thing, probably I'd be competitive. Yeah. I'd want to show off.
To me, it's a variation of being competitive. You're competitive against yourself because you want to make sure you do the best song you can. And people are going to say, wow, that was good. So you won your competition. You won the crowd over.
Yeah, I guess you could call that being competitive.
Yeah, I think you're competitive in different. You can compete with someone else, or you can compete to win over a crowd, or if it's a dead crowd a little bit, and you guys get going, and finally they turn, and you've got them. That's competitive. That's wanting to
work.
Yeah, I think it is. You guys are just on such another level from me. Like when I go out with my buddies and we play tennis, we're just trying to hit the ball, keep it on the court, and then get ready for the next spread. We take a break like every 2 games. We got to sit down and talk about stuff. So there's competitiveness, but it's real low level competitiveness compared to what you guys.
Right, but when you're swinging the racket,
the
action of hitting a shot, you still want to win.
Oh yeah, sure.
You still want to hit middle of the strings and beat that guy because there's. Even though he's probably got a new hip and using the cane around the court.
Right.
I think it's still there.
Yeah, there is. We all want to win. We do our best. When I go out to play tennis now, I have two things I keep in mind. One is to have fun, and the other is to don't get hurt. Those are the 2 things I want to accomplish. If I do that, whoa.
People heard that. I heard that pretty good. Dad just smashed his wedding ring on the table.
I must apologize to the massive audience we have out there.
Dad, I think that's a legit thing. That like when I played high school and college, I've always been super competitive. I don't care as much whether I lose. I just want to know who won. Like I've told the story before. I'm getting better at it, but like if Shell asked me to go on a walk, I'd always say, well, where are we going and how fast and who's going to win? Like, are we racing? Because I didn't get the point of walking. And now I do. I can do it. Mm-hmm. But I still have a little, like, I got to be ahead. I'm going to beat her to the tree. So mine's changed to.
I don't have that at all.
I want to win everything. If we played Monopoly right now, I'd want to win. I'd want to keep score, but I don't have to win. But I couldn't, if T and you said, hey, let's play Monopoly, but let's not really keep track of our money or who buys anything. We'll just hang out. Like, heck no. I want to know who won, but it doesn't affect me like it used to when I would break rackets and smash stuff.
Yeah.
But I gotta have a goal, and I still
Yeah.
have it. And my tennis stuff, my goal is to hopefully people get a little better, but primarily now is to enjoy their experience on the court. It's changed a lot. It used to be like if I had, especially when I worked with juniors, it was if I'm working with T and he's 13 or 14, my goal, T's going to win the next tournament. He's going to qualify for state. He's going to get seeded. He's going to win. Like that was it. But now that I've shifted almost primarily to adults, it's far more the experience. Did they enjoy their time on the court? Do they want to hang out at the club? Are they going to return? Did we give them what do they want out of tennis? And obviously, do they get better? Can we help them? But it's a whole different thing. Like we want them to come back and play more versus who cares much if they win every single match.
Oh, yeah.
It's how was that experience on the court with us as a club? It's changed significantly for me because I don't enjoy those results based things as much anymore. But I think we had a good conversation because that mental competitiveness versus the actual running around the court stuff and showing that I think are very, very different.
And it changed for me throughout high school. Like probably my freshman and sophomore year, that was when I was the most competitive. My best year was sophomore year, and then junior year and senior year was more like enjoying being on a team rather than winning matches. Like it was more personal for me my first 2 years, and the second two was like, all right, my team's pretty cool. I'm gonna enjoy it. That was more bus ride based at the end.
I know the bus rides. I'm with you. Even though in high school I had clear goals, we wanted to win a state championship every year. That was our goal. The things I remember are the bus trips and the eating and all that stuff, hanging out with my buddies. I remember a small number of matches. A handful I could probably talk pretty good about, but it's not. It's about those kids I hung out with. And that's why my coaching now is very much that, trying to build a community of people that when they come to the club, they want to hang out with each other versus just when I wanted to win, I was 12, 13, 14. And it was all, if I didn't win the tournament, I broke rackets and ended up spending my own money to replace them. And like I had some bad moments. I lost that like late in high school, college, no more because Coach Famer would destroy me if I acted like a punk. He'll still do that to me. But I'm going to do my next video post about mental competitiveness versus physical competitiveness. See if I get some feedback because I like it.
Do you work with kids or all adults?
Almost all adults now.
Okay. Do you have a small group of kids who are in serious training to try to become really, really good players?
Not with me, no.
But with somebody else?
Our club does, yeah. We have I can do a plug for the Wisconsin Athletic Club in Heartland, Wisconsin. If your kid wants to win state championships, join Tim Hartwick's high performance program.
Okay.
That's what he does it. So Tim, you owe me. No, it's got a really good program for that level, and there's tournament requirements and play requirements, and you have to have certain levels, and it's strict, and I really like it. But I don't do it anymore. When I was much younger, I did that stuff. It's just I'm not great at it anymore. Probably because it doesn't suit me as much. All right, moving on. So another one I posted. I'm trying to post these to get feedback for the podcast. So about how to move on immediately following a lost point that's really negative to you. You've missed the easiest shot ever. You shanked an overhead over the fence. How to move on from that. And mine was always, and Famer may have taught me this, was to say the score immediately. Because in pro tennis, if Djokovic is arguing with the umpire, once the umpire calls the score, that argument is over. Because you cannot go back and change the score. Once it's called and put on the scoreboard, it is illegal. You can't do it. It will never be changed. So once the umpire calls the score, he's basically telling Djokovic, this argument's done. Move on. You lost. Right? And so they'll let him yell for a little bit, and then when you hear him call 30 all, it's over. And so someone taught me when I was having rage issues was call the score. And that's how I move on. So even today, if T and you play a match and I'm serving and I miss a bad point, like before that ball's even long, you're gonna hear me call 30 off. Because that's my trigger. Move on. Next point. It's over, and nobody cares anymore. Somebody told me, Brad told me the 3-second rule. He was taught. You got 3 seconds to be pissed off. You got 3 seconds to react, and then it's done. Great. I'd try to get 1 second if you can do it. 3 to 5 is probably fine. I had people, you saw Sharapova. Well, you don't know who Sharapova is, do you? Maria Sharapova, T.
No.
All right. I hate her guts, but one of the better players, won a bunch of Grand Slams. She was famous for going to her strings and turning her back to her opponent.
Yeah.
And putting her head down, staring at her strings, and I hated it.
I do too.
But that was her way of moving on. You guys got any good ideas for ways to I'm talking like you've butchered one. It's embarrassing.
A cuss word.
How do you move on?
A cuss word.
You?
Yeah.
You just went on this rant about too many F-bombs, and now you're the one dropping them?
This, F that.
No, I saved the word for just, maybe a couple of times during the match if I hit a really lousy shot. And it's not like I scream it out to everybody. It's pretty much a fairly quiet cuss word. And then I get through it.
What word?
What's your word of choice?
What do you use, Dan? Start with an F or an S?
No,
Or M?
usually it's the S. It's
Really?
S, yeah. Yeah.
You can say it. If
Shit.
you want.
Usually it's shit.
Why are you swearing on my podcast? I'm going to have to bleep that for all the children that listen to this.
But it's real quick, and it's out, and it's over. Next point.
I like it. T, what do you do?
Yeah.
Do you recall?
I just kick my strings. I usually hit my shoot.
Sorry.
I kind of hit it on my heel.
With your racket?
Yeah.
One time?
One time, that's it.
And that'll move it on?
That'll do it. That's all I need.
I like it. I don't think there's any wrong ones as long as they're short, quick. Like, I would just encourage people that I work with and that might listen to this is find something that works for you that doesn't get you in any trouble.
Honestly, though, it's so hard for me to get over it. Like, honestly, that could change my whole match depending on the shot I miss.
I know. That's why I bring it up, because it's
just because
so
I do
common.
that doesn't mean I'm over it.
Right, but I think it gets
Just
you on the right path to getting over it.
I'm healing.
You're healing. That's funny.
I also mix in a holy mackerel, a cheese, and a god dang it. Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Those are the words of a 112-year-old who
That's right.
was born on a stagecoach
In Arizona.
and riding dinosaurs. Holy mackerel. I don't hear that very
Holy
much.
mackerel there.
Wait, was that a football announcer?
God, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a
Holy
famous.
mackerel.
He doesn't do it anymore.
Might have
instead.
been.
That Keith Jackson. I'm going to Google it.
Keith Jackson.
There's
Okay.
a football
Yeah.
announcer named Keith
Yeah.
Jackson that I think used that
Holy
as his.
mackerel.
I think you stole that.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, I think it's
Could be.
difficult. I may see the score quick, but you're right, T. It doesn't mean I moved on.
Yeah.
It means that I've started that process. I might think about it later, but I always tell people tennis is awesome because unlike other sports, it's not weighted. Your mistakes aren't weighted more than any other. So football is a game on a 100-yard field. There's teams.
I'm familiar.
Are you familiar with that? They
Yeah.
throw a ball made of pigskin. I think it's leather now.
Yeah.
Football has touchdowns worth 6, field goals worth 3, safeties worth 2, extra points worth 1. So your mistakes can lead to, if you fumble and they run it into the end zone, that is a 6-point loss for you.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing you can do, right? Tennis, no matter what you do, you hit the worst shot you've ever hit in the history of the world, it's worth 1 point, right?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
I always ask people, why are you so pissed off about that double fault, but you didn't care about missing that volley? Right? They're all worth 1. There is no situation in your life in a tennis match where someone's going to say, "Hey, T, this next point is worth 4." You're going to be like,
No way.
"It'd be cool. It'd be a great
Sweet.
game. you could call your
That would be a fun
like
game.
once a set, you get to determine what the next point's worth.
That'd be fun.
That's not bad.
That would be.
But if you lose it, you also lose those points.
Yeah,
not just for you. So if it's 30 all and I call the next one's worth 2, and I lose it, you take the game.
Yeah,
It's not a bad way to
It's not a bad way at all.
format, but anyway.
I think you should get one do-over too. In a match, you have one shot, you can make it a do-over. Like you hit a horrible shot, you say, let's go out and do it over. Yeah.
I can do that. We could he's bumping into everything. All right.
I gotta
Want to
move.
make some more noise? Can we get a cymbal?
I'm just looking at these cat toenails
still
in front of me.
Cat toenail.
I think I have 2
In
now.
front of Dad.
They multiplied. I went from 1 to 2.
One from each cat.
Yeah.
All right. That's really, I think that's all I got, dudes. We had good tennis talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel good about it. All right. So, listeners, like I always do, weigh in on lightning bugs or fireflies. Tell me if you watched The Bear. Go find a bench, a chair, a rock, something you can sit on and chill. Tell me if you have any things like T does, where he pulls his shorts up to distract his opponents
Yeah.
and stands in strange places. What do you do to move on? All that type of stuff. And as usual, if you want to follow more stuff, you can watch some things on Facebook, Instagram. I am now on Threads. Do you know what Threads is?
No.
Threads is the new Instagram's battle with Twitter.
Threads.
So Instagram made basically a site like Twitter because they don't like Elon Musk, so they're fighting, and it's called Threads. I don't know if it's going to work, but it got like 80 billion downloads in the first day, and it's designed to take Twitter down. It's supposed to be the nice Twitter. Nobody says any mean things, but eventually it'll turn. But also, I've started messing around on TikTok, some tennis stuff, but a lot of like dumb stuff to see how many people I can get to watch stupid things. Like we got a few hundred people to watch a piece of burnt toast.
It's cool.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. A whole bunch of people watched a piece of chocolate cake just sitting there. It's not talking, no music, just a piece of chocolate cake. Dad, your bread wall is now on TikTok.
Oh, cool.
So if you want to check it out.
Yeah.
And then my tennis stuff is on there too. But you guys got anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Cool.
We did
I think it was good. I feel good
It was
about the
fun.
topics. And also, so this is the first attempt I've ever done with 3 mics. I have no idea how this is going to sound. T assured me that it sounded okay.
Yeah, it's great.
So if it's funky, sorry about that. But you guys know I have no real skill in technology. But that's episode 50. I'm going to go back and watch Djokovic, Alcaraz, and talk to y'all later. You guys good? You want to say bye to the people?
Bye, people.
Goodbye.
All right. Peace out. All right. Sorry, I can't hear the music
Me
for some
either.
reason, so I was playing the music and I had to watch it get done.
Yeah.
All right. It was good, T. Seriously, we had some good tennis conversations.
Yeah.
More than I expected.
Videos going, dog.
Not anymore.